Good evening lecturers, I'm Peien and today I'll be doing a video for my Digital Design Task 2, which is analyzing my case studies. So for slide 1, I talked about what is digital design, which is blending real-world physical elements with digital technology, and also why it's important to analyze and evaluate these case studies to help my task 1 because they provide real-life context and keeps us informed of emerging technology and trends. I also noted down some interaction design principles such as consistency and feedback because I use these later on in my analysis. So choosing my case studies, I followed my task 1, and since it was based on a skincare brand, I decided to go along that line and do a makeup brand. And for my second one, I chose a sports apparel brand so there's a slight contrast for comparison. So for case study 1, I chose Modiface L'Oreal, which is an AR company that was bought by L'Oreal so that they could use makeup virtual try-ons. So for Modiface, they can use it for makeup try-ons, hair, skincare analysis, and even for nails. And this is the technology they use. They use tracking, analysis, and rendering so that the makeup analysis all goes on your face perfectly. So for analysis of Modiface, some of the integration of digital and digital elements is that people can use it in-store and on their phone, on a mobile device. In-store, they can use smart mirrors, on mobile device, they can use an app. And some interaction design principles is the feedback is good because users get instant visual feedback as soon as they select a product and it shows up on their face. Another one is consistency. The UI styling is consistent with the overall L'Oreal brand experience. For aesthetic appeal, there's very high realism because they use advanced rendering to match skin tone, light reflection, and texture, which helps improve the visual of Modiface, of the entire experience. For evaluation, some of the emotions is confidence because seeing how a product looks builds assurance in users before they buy, and as well as playfulness and creativity as users can experiment with any color they want and don't need to be afraid of trying it in real life in-store. Some strengths is that it supports inclusivity because they can match different skin tones, facial features, and genders. While weaknesses is there's not much personalization context as it does not factor in skin conditions or lighting of your environment, which might affect the test result. Some lessons learned is that we can balance realism with expectation. So if the trial simulation is too perfect for Modiface, users may feel let down when the product differs, so it's important to set expectations. And here are some videos online for Modiface that I found on YouTube. Now for case study 2, I chose Nike Fit, which is an AR app that allows users to help them choose the perfect shoe size before they buy a pair of Nike shoes. So some of the digital and physical elements is that users need to stand against the wall and put their feet together and take a photo of the surface so that the smartphone can scan and use their 13 key data point measurement system to help them find their shoe size. Some design principles apply is personalization because each shoe is tailored to each model, so it emphasizes individual fit. Aesthetic appeal, the visual design has a minimal color palette and crisp visuals that match Nike's modern aesthetic, as well as spatial awareness because the scanning makes users feel part of the interface. Some emotions is that sense of being understood as tailoring the size to individual foot dimensions makes users feel seen and catered for. Also maybe curiosity as scanning the process feels futuristic and playful. Some strengths is that it relieves users from stressing about what shoe size to buy, especially when buying online. But some weaknesses is that technical independence is very high because if the scan fails, users may get frustrated and not want to use the app anymore. And some lessons learned is that tech needs an emotional arc, so it should feel like a journey instead of just scanning, getting the result, and that's the end of the journey. So here is a video on Nike Fit that I found on YouTube as well. So comparing the case studies, some similarities is that both aim to reduce purchase hesitation, which improves the confidence of choosing the right product. So it's how Modiface helps users choose their makeup shade without testing on the skin, and Nike Fit helps users choose shoes without trying them on. And some of the differences between Modiface and L'Oreal is first of all, the emotional hook. The emotional hook for Modiface is beauty, fun, self-expression, and self-discovery. While for Nike Fit is precision, performance, confidence, and empowerment, as they are for different things. Modiface is for beauty and Nike Fit is for sportswear. Some of the strengths and differences. Strengths for both is that they appeal to the target audience and their problems, and some weaknesses is both weaknesses for them is that dependence on the lighting and camera quality. If the camera quality is bad, the scanning might not work so well. So some of my key insights after reading about the case studies is that feature designs are not really multisensory. Most of them just rely on sight and haven't really explored into touch or smell, so that can be used in the future. And we can also think about more about the post-digital interaction, how users feel after the interaction is over, because most of the time it's just a letdown after they finish and nothing happens. And here are my references, and that's the end of my video. Thank you.